Yo, I just want to put this online. I don't give a fuck who listens. I just want to tell the truth. Ain't no news articles, ain't no rap songs or nothing, whatever I might have posted before. Ain't no Joe Biden. This is all black right here, and it's not good. Black people in America, the so-called African American community, has the worst culture on earth, hands down. I want to start there. On top of that, you have a street culture. Now, I don't know if this is a thing, but I've heard people say this person is a slave or that person is a slave. And I think I've heard a person say this like across the room about another person of color. Um, I'm just hearing the conversations in the room. Not that I'm in the conversation, but I can hear what people are saying. Talking to a foreigner from an Asian country and say, this dude is a slave. First of all, if you're black in America, the whole world sees you as a slave or the descendant of a slave. It says that on most job applications, descendants of Africans, which means slaves in America. See, and they want to bombard you with news on the news app. See, I was trying to stay away from the news. I'm just in my own little space right now. I keep getting the notifications from the news. But anyway, they see us as slaves. And if you're African American, if you're an African American man or African American woman, and maybe a child, if you're even cognizant as a child of other black or African cultures, because there's other brown, dark-skinned, pigmented people on Earth besides Africans. Okay, let's keep that in mind. But the narrative that we give ourselves is that we were kings and queens at one point, and that can be agreed upon. Africans do agree that black people uh, were prestigious people. We were not conceited people, not judgmental people. We were strong people. We were good people. And if you meet the Africans that are there to this day in Africa and come here, they are still good people. And but they do tell you they do have corruption in Africa. But if you're a black American, an African American, and your ancestors were brought over here on ships uh, against their will, in Asia, Europe, wherever, Asia, Europe, Australia, wherever there's people, South Pacific, the general consensus is we were slaves. And as slaves, we didn't have rights. We got treated bad. But the white man, here's the narrative. Here's the narrative they give you that we don't talk to about us. We don't say that. We don't say this to ourselves after like the third grade. I would say, I might be exaggerating to say third grade. That might be a little bit far back. And the white man fought against the white man to free you guys, and they think we won. The brown people, the pigmented people around the world, whether you're Asian, yellow Asian, uh, Hindu Asian, African, African, African people believe the white man fought against the white man to free us. They don't know nothing about breaking the buck. They don't know about Jim Crow. They don't know about modern day gang stalking. And most black people don't know that we've been gang stalked our whole existence here. They don't know about the voting. They say we got voting laws right now. Why do we even want to vote? Why do we even want to be here? If they've done this much evil to us, why do we even believe that these people could possibly stop doing evil? Like, how fast can the train go and you still think uh, it's just going to slow down for some reason? It's not going to hit the wall 100 yards away because it's slowing down. It seems it's not the track is not as bumpy as it was an hour ago. You've been going 200 miles an hour with no brakes and no driver, no conductor for an hour, and there's a wall in 20 minutes, and you still say, but maybe it'll slow down. Maybe the tracks are different. They got the automatic slow down tracks. You know what I'm saying? People are hopeful about any fucking thing. But that's one thing I want to talk about. We believe anything is going to work out. And the shit that we tell each other around these jobs and whoever you talk to, your cousins or whatever, that the white man fucks us over for 400 years. That's not the story that other black people hear. They hear that the white man fought himself and came to his senses and fought his brother for us. And now we're liberated. Okay, now that's the first thing. We get fucked over here. People think we're safe. It's like we're sex slaves and people think we got married. You know what I'm saying? We're Ike and Tina Turner. You know what I'm saying? We're Tina Turner getting the hell beat out of us, and America's Ike. But on TV, all they see is, the musical couple until the movie comes out. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is our women. We have the worst. The African American woman is the worst thing that ever happened to African American culture. Period. Now, maybe not then. Back in the day, Harriet Tubman was a great woman, but the modern day African American woman is the worst thing that ever happened to the African American family community. Period. Because not only do they have a reputation of being promiscuous, aka a hoe and a bitch and a slut, they prescribe to feminism. Now, the point of racism was to separate people. So you separate people, you can destroy one and do what you want with the other. In all cases, they separate the black and the white instead of integrate it and destroy the black and propel the white man into a stratosphere. They're so fucking beautiful. They got so much great shit going on in the white world because they never been destroyed, or they haven't in centuries, thousands of years. But the black woman is a feminist now. So they give her so-called power. She can't beat nobody. She can't do nothing. She can't bust a grape in a food fight, but she hates black men. And that's the point of feminism. Because a feminist hates men. So if a feminist hates men, that includes black men and white men. Feminists ain't going to do too much to a white man because a white man don't have to bow down to nobody in America. The point of the white man coming to America was to be a sovereign, which is a king, which means anything he do is royalty in America. That's the hidden rule. That's the unwritten rule of America. If you're white, you're a king. But if you're black and you got to deal with the feminists, you got to deal with the white feminists, the black feminists, you got the white male bleeding hearts, the black male bleeding hearts, and when you get caught in the middle, they destroy your life. And then when feminism fades away and loses its power, because there's no way no group of men is going to bow down to a woman for too long. The Bible even tells you about Jezebel. People that believe the Bible say we just threw Jezebel out the window and it was over. It was all good. They killed her. So for so long, women are going to do good and bully men, and then men are going to get fed up and start killing off the women. And that's not even the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make is that the black woman is a hoe. It's not a myth. It's not a misconception. It's not a stereotype. The black woman is a hoe. Unless you're old school. And I don't care who get mad because y'all don't like me anyway. Y'all left me lonely and broke anyway. So I'm going to tell the truth. You never leave a motherfucker lonely and broke and then let him tell the truth. And that's why Donald Trump ain't lonely or broke, but he tried to tell the truth and they tried to throw him in jail on some bogus charges. That's gang stalking. Anytime they have a bogus investigation, that's gang stalking. That's every black person in America. That's called Jim Crow. But moving on. Anyway, the black woman is a hoe. And I'm not saying it because she fucks, she's out there selling pussy. I'm saying it because I asked a brother last night. I asked an African sister if she know any virgins. She's mid-20s. She said, yes, I have plenty of friends that are virgins. That are her age in Africa. And I asked the brother, 5 minutes later, when the last time you seen a virgin? I said 5th grade. He said, never. Now I thought about it. I ain't never. He started naming shit. He said, I see girls with 12 years old with titties. Like Pamela Anderson. They start fucking at 11, 12 years old. I said, you're right. And even when they find out they doing the wrong thing, they keep on fucking. They don't ever stop. Black women, American women, hoes, nothing but hoes. This is the only people on earth that make a business, an industry, not a business, not a store, not a Lions Den location, an entire industry, a gross domestic product of dildos. They masturbate all the time, bro. That's all if they could do it for a living, which they do, it's called chatterbait. They take pictures and videos of themselves masturbating. But there are women in Africa who stay with their family until they get married, 20, 30 years old. They live with their family. You know what I'm saying? No, ain't no sneaking off to the back. The you know the kids is gone, so we gonna walk around naked. No, you live a normal life until a man comes and pays your dad to take you into his home as his wife. And that's African culture. We think African culture is the sheikies and them hats, dancing and smiling and shit. We think that's African culture. African culture is they build families and communities with real morality, bruh, with normal living, normal conversations, normal thoughts, and that's why nobody likes black people because America has produced the worst culture in the world. The African American community by far is the worst culture in the world. A black person in the African American community will sell you out in a heartbeat for money. And I don't like to say it because everybody thinks I'm Mr. Pro Black man. I love my brothers and sisters. Well, I'm just telling the truth. This is an assessment. And the whole part is not don't black women don't feel like I'm just picking on you. I pick on you because you're like me. You're black. You need to come up. You need to be in a better place just like I do. And the better place is not America. We claim to have a culture, and our culture is now hip hop and sports, and basketball, football. We can box, girl. We can run fast. We can rap. We can do this. That's our culture. We call that culture. Over there, their culture is you live right, or else you get expelled from society. You get cast out. You get treated like dirt if you're a criminal in Africa. I've heard many Africans tell me that. If you're a criminal, you might as well hang it up. You know what I'm saying? Until you get your shit together. And if you go to jail, I can just imagine. But the whole thing, that's not exclusive to African American women. That's women in America. Period. Unless you're ugly. Or you just, you believe the Bible wholeheartedly. And if you do, you're the main one that they use. I met a woman that was overweight, but she was a Christian. She served at 3 churches and she lived in a fucking hotel. No, she had to stay in a hotel until somebody in her family said it was okay for them to live with her. And the church, instead of giving her, $800 for a deposit and some food, they gave her $50 for a hotel and pieced her out and said, "Come back next Sunday. We got homeless people to feed." She was doing missions for 3 different churches, 3 different mega churches, and she was homeless. But better her than me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the American woman is a hoe. It don't matter if you're black or white, but if you black, the best women, and I would appreciate it if you don't mess with them because they got their own thing. When they go back to Africa, they gonna be happy. If I go to Africa, I'm gonna be an old man if I ever make it, but I'm gonna just be a quiet guy and just enjoy, you know, African things. But that's my assessment, man. I know you hate it, but it's the truth.